You're listening to the best local sports show. Boots, Bats and Balls on Six Towns Radio.
Okay, we're going over to the phones and we're welcoming Steve Lewis, who is the British record holder and Olympic pole vaulter. Steve, welcome back to Boots, Bats and Balls. How are you, mate? All right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me back on.
No problem. We've been missing each other over the last couple of weeks because you've been busy competing in various Diamond League meetings, and I believe you're in Berlin today.
Yes, so I flew from Zurich yesterday to Berlin, and just finishing the year off as strong as I can, really. Just been trying to compete and obviously improve on my national record.
I mean, it's been an amazing few months for you since we last spoke. A British record in Poland and the Olympics, the Diamond League. Could you just take us through the Olympics build-up and experience, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure. So I suppose since last time I spoke to you, I had all these dreams and plans of like how my year would finish, and I kind of really built from that and built from jumping the Olympic qualifying pretty early, and got into some really good competitions where I was against the best guys in the world who ended up being pretty much all the Olympic finalists, and was able to win my last competition, get into the Olympics, which is awesome for my confidence and break this British record, and kind of went to Portugal, like knowing that things were coming together, and had just some of the best pole vault sessions of my life in Portugal, and just kind of came back to London grinning. I was like, I can't wait for this to happen, and kind of go out there in front of my home crowd. And then obviously I was sharing with Greg Rutherford the whole way through the holding camp, and on my way to the village, it was his night in the stadium, and while listening to him win gold medal and then going back and watching his final jump, I was like, wow, this is crazy. We've just done the last 12 months kind of day for day, battling it out, and then he's in the stadium winning a gold medal. I'm in the best shape of my life. I just want to get on with this. This is going to be an amazing experience. And so the first time I actually went down to the stadium, I went and watched him get his medal, and it was just so emotional, I was like, God, this is amazing. One of my mates is there, and God, I've got like 3 days left to prepare and build up, and literally just felt so good, I just knew I was going to have a good experience, and nothing was kind of worrying me or making me feel any other way than it was going to go well. And we had a pretty smooth qualification. Went out there in the morning. The crowd was just unbelievable, the amount of support, not just for me, but for every single pole vault, it's just cheering and just having their time of their lives, and all that energy kind of radiated through to us, and everyone out there had a good time and managed to make the final with one jump. So we kind of jumped 550 first attempt, and then there was a bunch of us, including my one of my mates, Steve Hooker, who kind of figured out that we don't need to jump again. We've done enough with 550, and that was true. They took 14 athletes through to the final, and took a pretty easy day the day after that. I think the build-up to doing the qualifying was obviously kind of an emotional build-up, and obviously getting out there and experiencing it was pretty flat the next day, and then came back for the final feeling good and gave it everything I had, and it was enough for fifth on the day, and I jumped 575, which is my best ever championship performance, the best a British guys ever jumped in an Olympic final, so I kind of did myself proud, and on the other hand, I felt like I was close to jumping 585 and probably made some mistakes on pole choices, which some people obviously would smack me for, and some people understand. But it was an amazing experience. I've never felt support like that. I've never been in that kind of shape, and everything come together for one moment, and it was just really magical. It was such a good experience.
That sounds fantastic, and from my experience, I was out on a Stag Night on the Friday night, because it was a Friday night, wasn't it? You actually stopped the Stag Night. The boys were drinking, and I said, there's a guy I've spoken to on the phone, let's watch this. And to a man, we stood around the bar and watched you, and the whole pub was like behind you, sort of thing. So, and that was in Stoke-on-Trent. So, you got a good vibe going around here as well, Steve.
It's just amazing, the reach it had, and the messages I had, and just the scene of the country coming together. It's such a proud moment, and it was everything we dreamed of, but we just didn't know, and to finish that night and kind of come off it and come and finish top 3 in the last 2 Diamond Leagues, and just to keep going strong. And like all field events in the UK are going so good right now. Obviously, Greg's just doing so well, and Robbie Gabbard's just winning the Diamond League in the high jump, and we've got Shara Proctor in the long jump, just jumping 680s and finishing top 3 in Diamond Leagues. The future's bright for track and field in Great Britain.
Just while we're talking about the future, everyone's talking about legacy for the Olympics and things like that. And I know October comes and people have to go and represent their fields of sport and trying to get money for the next 4 years, so to speak. Do you feel the future is bright for field events?
I think so. I mean, obviously the Olympics was good for field events and good for track and field. I think Charles Van Commedy's goal in track was he wanted 8 medals, but the government actually said between 5 and 8. Yeah. So we achieved our medal status, and obviously for him it was a blow because he was so confident in us and everything he'd set up that we were actually gonna pull it off and win 8. But it's the Olympic Games, everyone's going there for the same reason, everyone's training hard, and sometimes you just have to hope on the day it all comes together, and it came together for 5 of our guys, or 4 of our guys, Mo doing 2 medals, and I'm pretty sure we'll get all the funding we need, and I think obviously the grassroots schemes and the stuff introducing kids into athletics is going to grow, and there's a lot of inspired young people out there.
Yeah, definitely, and just from personal experience, I know we were tweeting each other during your build up to the Olympics. We did some university lectures, and we were talking about the media and sport and the Olympics sort of thing, and we used you as a what do you do to interview someone that you don't know anything about? And for all the schools we did it to, and we were asking to name local athletes, and none of them really got Steve Lewis until one school came up and it was Holden Lane, and the first one that popped up. How do you know Steve then? Oh, we're Holden Lane, and his dad works there, so. Yeah, and it's your old school as well. So yeah, it's we saw kids inspired from our lectures. And we had the Olympic torch in the lectures and things like that. We saw that impact in Stoke-on-Trent. Have you got any plans to come back to Stoke-on-Trent to do anything here?
Yeah, I think at the end of the season I'm going to come back and hopefully do some events or do something. I mean, there's a lot of things being organised right now, but obviously first focus is to finish the season and
of course,
stay healthy and make sure I get through that. And then, I'll be planning the future. And obviously there's a lot of things that happen at the end of our years because funding, obviously, and getting ready for the next 4 years. So the end of an Olympic year is a big year to resort your life and kind of figure out what the next step is. So, yeah, I think after I finish these competitions, I'll be back and I'll be doing stuff and seeing where it takes me.
Okay, great. Thursday night you finished 3rd in the Diamond League in Zurich. I think it was 5.5. Real poor conditions though, weather-wise, weren't they?
Yeah, we had really bad conditions. It was absolutely pouring down with rain, and we had a pretty decent headwind, so not the best night for pole vaulting, but yeah, again, I felt like I dealt with the conditions as well as anyone out there. And Renaud Lavillenie, the French guy who won the Olympics, obviously he came out and jumped 570 the next bar, and he won it, and well deserved. He's had a fantastic year, and it's just been going well for me. I just beaten the guys who obviously were ahead of me at the Olympics, which is good, and I just hope I can carry this kind of momentum into next year.
You've got Berlin tonight. Is that the end of the season, or is there still other events after that?
No, I actually fly then to Cologne, and then I've got one more competition in Cologne, and then that'll be it for me.
Right, and then is it rest up time then? Is it holiday time, or did you manage to get a break in after the Olympics, or?
Yeah, I'll be definitely getting a break in, but nothing's organised yet, so hopefully be on the golf course a little bit and relaxing and come back to Stoke and see family, friends, and kind of come around and say my thank yous.
Roommate Greg Rutherford, you mentioned him earlier. I mean, he appeared in Celebrity Juice in the week, and I see you turned down an opportunity because you were competing to appear on James Corden, so the profile is definitely raising.
Yeah, I mean, the things coming in, it's been crazy. I'm like, wow. But, obviously my priority is to compete first and be an athlete, and then obviously these other things will fall into place. But, yeah, the opportunities and the amount of people who want to see the athletes and the Olympians, it's great. And we've got a few more events coming up. We've got the visit to Buckingham Palace coming up and the parade in London and some really cool events, which hopefully I'll be part of if I've got a free schedule, and then obviously take my break.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, when you are in Stoke next year, then pop in to see us. We're up in Burslem, by the way. so we're not too far away. So wish you luck in Berlin. Thank you for taking the time out from your schedule to talk to us, and all the best, mate.
Thank you very much. Take care, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
You're listening to the best local sports show. Boots, Bats and Balls on Six Towns Radio.